Oh, I don't
Uh,
think we're live.
I don't yet see us live. Sometimes it can take about this long, but normally it would show up by now.
Usually, yeah. But like even when you Oh, hello everyone again. Okay, I see Holly's here.
I don't see any evidence that we are live.
There's one person for Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. Well,
But on your YouTube, you're live through a different. The source coming into YouTube is a different stream than the one that was initially set up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
the
I'm
chat
I
not
thought that would
chat is
happen.
way
Yeah.
different.
exactly. But how do we have people watching then?
I
Because
uh so
I've
there are
reached.
people who get notifications.
Oh, okay. I found the link. I can put it.
Oh, awesome. All right, you do that.
I need
While
to
we're
get
doing
rid
that,
of the old.
today we have Leo back for another episode of uh, Physics is Hard? Only Physics. No, it's Physics is Hard, episode 2. Physics. Leo, here. Leo, do the thing. What's the elevator pitch?
Huh?
Elevator
Ow.
pitch. Yeah, that
I,
thing.
I don't. I don't like elevators. I have claustrophobia.
No, that's why you got to pitch them. That's why you like throw
Exactly
them
right.
at somebody who swings a big a
Leo's
America's
back,
pastime.
everybody. Yay.
That's why me and Albert Einstein wouldn't have gotten along. He liked to talk about elevators a lot and people inside of them. And it's like, motherfucker, you would put somebody inside an elevator with no
Leo.
windows.
When
Yeah.
people go over to your goddamn channel, what are they gonna
Mhm.
find?
Um. I mean, some good content you should probably watch, or maybe I might say semi good content. But yeah, you should go over there to watch it. A lot of philosophy, a lot of science, a lot of metaphysics.
Look, I swear he wants me to hurt him. God
What?
damn it. Nothing. What?
Huh?
I mean, you must be talking about Vandy.
Oh, yeah, no, that is apparent.
Yeah.
And daily, actually. Um, let's see. But we do have bingo today, thanks to Al, because Al's a good person. Unlike these two. Um, all right, I think we're good. Everybody can see us, right?
I haven't.
My camera is strangely blurry. I don't know what the fuck we're doing here
All right.
today.
Oh, so now I got to redo the thing. All right, Vandy, what are we doing today?
So I'm just adding one more clarifying message in the other chat. Sorry, give me
Oh,
a second.
beautiful. Well,
Um,
Leo doesn't want to talk, so it's your turn.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about how you two are going to torture me today with your pedantry.
Oh,
oh yeah, it's
okay.
gonna be
What the
great
fuck is that? Why am I hearing an echo on myself?
because you have probably do you have that or it was me? Hold on.
Leo
That
is
shouldn't
better.
be me.
I'm. Yeah. I'm not hearing myself anymore.
Oh, okay. No, it was my fault then.
Yep.
Good. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
What do I need to talk about?
Nothing because we're gonna let this guy talk, and I
Oh,
found I thought a decently suitable pause face for him.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's great. So this is Sam. Sam is an astrologer. He does like what do you call it? The astrology charts, and your natal and your all that stuff. The charts with the astrology and the zodiac. And he has discovered how quantum mechanics proves Vedic astrology. And
yeah.
like you guys have been holding out to me. It's like you've never like I talked to you two a lot, and you've never ever ever told me that this was a thing.
I guess they don't teach that in the textbooks. Griffiths doesn't talk about that.
no, it's true. They don't.
What's the other one? Sakurai, if I got that right.
Sac-
Shankar doesn't talk about this.
Sakurai, Townsend,
Sakurai,
yeah,
there we go.
yeah, Shankar also, yeah. How many of those I could? I'm, you're gonna make me go and get out my textbooks, and Maya's all like gonna be too mad at me too early in the stream for that.
Another one that I
continuing to
actually,
steal.
another one that I think actually is good once you start getting into a little bit more of the advanced quantum mechanics is oh god, Zweibach, Barton Zweibach.
I don't know if I know.
Mastering Quantum Mechanics is the name of his book.
All
He's
right.
at a-
So
Anyway, yeah, he doesn't mention it. So yeah, I don't.
that's
What?
fair.
Yeah,
But maybe we're gonna learn from this guy. The
Yeah.
title of the channel is Sam Geppi.
Geppi.
One of the two, yeah.
Vedic astrology teacher. I think I said that right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
Vedic.
you know, if I ever say
wonder-
anything, if I ever pronounce anything incorrectly on this stream, I'm sure Leo will point it out.
He will.
I'm
Let's try and stop
wondering.
him, actually.
I'm wondering if
Yeah.
Vedic astrology is connected to Vedic cosmology, because that's one I've.
Probably in that they're both bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Vedic. Okay, yeah. This channel has 56,000 subscribers, and this video from carry the 7 years ago has 2,400 views, almost 2,500. So
We're getting there.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, really quick. So, Vedic astrology, I'll just read the definition. Vedic astrology is also known as Hindu astrology. It's an ancient Indian system, like not native, the old Indian,
You're underwater.
of course I am.
No, it's fixed now.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
sounds fine.
India, the subcontinent, like their Hindu system. Well, I think everybody, like all the ancients, had started with astrology, and science has moved into astronomy, but it's their study of the signs and the seasons and da 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 da. But unlike tropical astrology, which is what we're used to here in the West, they use like the sun signs. So it's where tropical astrology cuts the signs into 12 equal signs, parts into the year. Vedic doesn't. It's whatever sign the sun is actually in. So like Virgo is fucking huge. And then I believe Sagittarius is the smallest sign. And then there's like this a bigger push for a 13th sign, which is Ophiuchus, which is on the astral plane, but was cut out because 13 doesn't divide easily, blah, 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 blah. But like, yeah, the Vedics, they actually do like where are the positions actually in the sky, as opposed to where they would fall on this neatly cut up chart. So you have tropical astrology and Vedic astrology. And he is a Vedic astrologer, meaning he just follows the practices of this ancient system as opposed to the tropical system.
Interesting.
I did not know any of that.
I didn't know, because I don't know anything about astrology. I don't know about the tropical or the Arctic astrology or the none of that. No.
Well, the tropic, it's like the tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. Those are they're defined astronomically, because they're each at what, like 23 point something, whatever makes the 90 minus that equal to 66.6, as all the flat earthers constantly harp on about.
I mean, it's just the name of the systems. I'm not saying that it's not based on that, like what you're saying, but like, I don't know, when amongst astrologers, you would want to know, like, he's saying I'm a Vedic astrologer, it's going to make a difference because it's going to change your entire chart.
That sounds like a big deal.
Yeah.
If only it were true. Yeah.
It's a lot. I'm not doing an astrology class today. That's your guys' job.
Topical astronomy. Where exactly am I supposed to apply this at? and am I supposed to apply liberally?
Yes, always apply liberally.
Apply liberally. You got to really rub it in.
Yeah.
Talk about quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and it's the science that allows things like this, our phones, our computers, and all of our modern electronics and technology to improve our life. These theories...
That's kind of true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got. I mean, transistors don't work without quantum mechanics, like at all. I mean, nothing works without quantum mechanics. To be clear, because the world is fundamentally quantum mechanical. But like, you don't have to know quantum mechanics to predict how a light bulb will work. You do in order to predict how a transistor will work well.
And physics were developed at the early stages of the 20th century.
Sorry, this is all.
Really think about the revolution in our life with these electronics. Invisible forces moving through the air, data moving through the air. This is miraculous stuff, and the reason it works is because of quantum physics. And I'm going to show you how astrology extends quantum physics into the realm of individuality.
Interesting. Curious, you know me, I love learning more about quantum mechanics.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the realm of individuality. I believe what he's trying to say is like how to apply it to yourself, as opposed to, you know, I guess you could look at it as more like a when. So from like psychology, like what we're looking at is the study of people at large. It's, you know, you can apply it to an individual level, but like this psychology itself is talking about populations of groups. So similarly with astrology, you can apply it to individuals, sure. But like the study of it is more about like, you know, like the first house, and I should probably pull this up, you know, is means X, Y, and Z. And the sign that rules over the first house is this planet, and that means X, Y, and Z. And so these two together mean X, Y, and Z. And so there's a way to apply it to an individual level, but you know, there's also these broader concepts of
Yeah,
what they
so
mean.
it's like a coupling between sort of, the big cosmic way that the universe works and the personal individualized
Yes,
experience.
exactly.
Just
Okay.
like we saw with the modern neuroscience. I'm also going to give you a great
Huh?
Can you explain that, my friend? I guess not. I guess he's
What is
still
that?
doing the intro. It means the modern neuroscience is going to connect to how electronics mean quantum astrology individuality.
Yeah.
exercise that you can do yourself, just like in the last video. In this video, we're going to really learn how to focus our awareness on exactly what we want so we can be using quantum physics and quantum theories and quantum facts to our advantage.
Are you?
Yeah, if you just focus your mind in enough and you focus your attention, you
Yeah.
direct
Yeah,
your-
that sounded a lot like
Then-
law of attraction.
It's literally step one, focus your attention.
Yeah,
Step
yeah.
two, quantum physics. Step
Yeah.
three, success.
Hey, you get it.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh, wait. I think there's a step you're missing in there. Like,
Yeah.
step whatever. You grab magic wand, enact
Exactly.
magic.
Well, everybody knows the physics is magic, right? I mean, step one, write down your
yeah,
write down
you
your
did
Lagrangian. Step two, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step three, forces.
I think, you know what? When I think that a lot of people, when they hear quantum mechanics, they just hear magic. Like that's,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just like, yeah, I don't think people really separate the two from one another.
Strangely
because-
enough.
The thing that you have to do to like really start to understand precisely about quantum mechanics is math. It's a mathematical theory. It is a mathematical formalism. And if you don't acknowledge that, and you only try and describe the physics that the formalism describes without ever talking about it, you're lost.
I, really love this freeze frame. It's giving me 70s porn star.
All right.
There was a great response to the first video where I talked about neuroscience and resolving our inner conflicts and showing how the three brains
Yeah, we're not going to
were-
watch that.
Okay, three brains.
Yeah.
How
no. No,
Alright.
you're just gonna have to trust him, bro.
I
I'm
Oh,
wonder
I
if
bet he's
watching
those
talking about the hemisphere, and the cerebellum.
probably some dumb shit like that. I wonder if these three brains are quantum entangled though.
Yeah.
Directly related to the three gunas and how we have these inner conflicts where part of us.
What? What? The three gunas? Like, what the fuck is
But he
that?
explained it all in the other video, which we didn't watch. So
Do
maybe
you
we
know
should
what
like
that is?
fast forward through this part because like he's just gonna
Well, now
explain the
that you
last
mention it,
video, and we're not gonna know like what the fuck he's
that's
talking
fair.
about,
Do you have
and we are not watching it.
yeah.
Here we go.
Do
I
you
did
do you have a particular timestamp that
I don't. It's been a
that's
rough
fair?
weekend. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's fair. That's fair.
Box that they see us in, we have to overcome that, and we have to overcome our fear of not having enough resources when we want to try to get to the next level. People also really
Oh,
like the
okay. So here, I do
You
know
want me to go
this
back?
from experience. Oh, fuck me. You know what? We did get a skeptic haven raid, so I do want to say
motherfucker.
welcome on in. And luckily, when they raided, you were talking about what we're talking about. So I think everybody should be all caught up. But today, we're going to teach you how to the secret your way into all your hopes and dreams, like it was a magic wishing willow.
He bounces all over the place. I'm not. It's pretty wild.
exercise where you write down all the things that are worrying you, and they have a direct correlation to the things you're afraid of, and then how those things
You don't say. The things that are worrying me have a direct correlation to the things that I'm afraid of.
manifest
But
into
no, this
worries.
is new information. Otherwise, he would not be saying it.
What do I not understand the meaning of the words worry and afraid and fear?
Well, look, if you have those things, though, you cannot magically pop into existence all of your hopes and dreams
Oh
because
yeah.
fear. And actually, you know what? Billy Carson has been talking about this all fucking year. Um, and yeah, how like if fear keeps your dreams from coming true, pretty much. Like the fear, there's like what you want and it's right there. But then there's the fear and it just like, yeah.
Well, fear. I can't remember what the saying is, but it's like fear leads to anger, and anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. Or Yoda said something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. Profound it
Some of
is.
them are tangible worries and things that you can control, but others are very abstract and intangible. And those are really the ones that keep you hung up and keep you stuck in your life the way it is, because it's on a deeply psychological level. You feel like you want to do something, but you have this irrational fear about the nature of the world or humanity or, the Illuminati taking all the money.
Bro, man, I was
all
with
of the
you.
things preventing me from doing the stuff that I want to do have nothing to do with fear. They have to do with they have to do with the fact that I don't have any fucking money. Okay, and I guarantee you that's what most people are gonna say. They would be
Well,
doing very different things if
the
they had the money to do them.
fear of living in a capitalist hellscape that prevents me from getting the money I want to do things with.
Yeah.
And I will say,
Does that still count as fear holding me back? Or is that just the man? Because I've been told since I was a girl that the man always holds you back.
I have felt that, like held back, or at least my experience in like
But
doing
you are the
things
man.
is this is a fair criticism. But can we appreciate that he basically he's talking about I think that a charitable reading would be like anxiety, for example.
Sure.
Like anxiety and fear of just like basic kind of like I sometimes have a paralysis in doing basic things like making an appointment because I need to make a phone call, and it's really annoying.
No, yeah, facts. I am so
then-
bonded with you right now.
Then suddenly the Illuminati entered the chat. Right?
It wasn't. Yeah, it had nothing to do with your brain or anything going on up there. It was totally the Illuminati and their moon machine.
They're evil space lasers that
Right.
they use to like fuck with our brains and turn us all into autistic gay frogs or whatever the fuck it is.
No, yeah, exactly, Leo. That's exactly what's happening right now. And also, it reminds me of I was oh God, I turned in for maybe 5 minutes and I was listening to another streamer ramble on about like telling their friend, like seeing their friends in a panic attack and telling them that they needed to like, I don't know, pull up their big girl pants or whatever. And I was just like, wow, that's bad. Yeah, so I denounce like anxiety and fear being related. Just saying. And I also like there's no reason that we have to be here. We're in the richest country that ever existed. We can afford healthcare so that people can do, basic things in life like make a phone call.
Nope, can't do that. Nope, I gotta blow up brown people with healthcare money in like
Mm.
Israel or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, they did take all of our healthcare money and give it to ICE agents. That was fucked.
Mhm.
But you know what's not fucked? Professor Parks, who's gave us $5. Professor Parks says physics is hard. Which approach is better for learning it? Jump right in and start hammering it out, or a slower, more thoughtful approach? Thoughts?
It really depends on where you're at already. Like, what's your
Yeah.
mathematical background? If you're comfortable with like even just like basic single variable differential and integral calculus, you could pick up a basic like university physics textbook and
Yeah.
do just fine. Um, if you've got basic calculus, you could probably do fine with introductory quantum mechanics book. If you're not comfortable with linear algebra, I'd brush up on that because elementary quantum mechanics, introductory quantum mechanics is. I often describe it as it's just effectively an applied linear algebra course. I mean, you do some
Yeah.
calculus. There's some differential equations and stuff, but there's a lot of linear. I
There's a lot of
find
connection
linear
between
algebra
those two
interesting,
topics
but
too, which is why.
yeah, but it really just depends on what your background is. If you don't, and then. What do you want to just learn some basic physics? Or are you wanting to learn some advanced stuff? Because once you start getting into more advanced topics, you start getting into like advanced classical mechanics, classical field theory, dealing heavily with Lagrangians and stuff like that. Things start to get a little bit more complex, and then naturally, if you move into general relativity or quantum field theory, you're in some of the much more mathematically mature parts of physics, and those. If you're not in a university setting learning them, having gone through all of the requisite background classes that you need, those are going to take time. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
they're just and I personally I don't like to describe them as hard. They can be understood. This material can be understood. It
Not
just takes some
easy.
time. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not easy in the sense that as with most areas that require a lot of mathematics, it requires a lot of patience and dedication to applying the material in ways that help you understand it. You need to
Yeah.
do the math to understand it. And a lot of people don't have the patience for that. So it's hard in that sense, but it can be learned. It will take time. I prefer to describe them as mature, mathematically mature areas rather than hard or difficult or anything like that.
I don't have a problem describing them personally as hard because I find them there's some things that are easy for me and there are some things that are hard, and it's not just a matter of like the time that it takes. It's the matter of the quality of the focus and the willingness to really parse out an idea, because sometimes the ideas can be subtle. I think so if the question is like jump right in, start hammering it out, or a slower and more thoughtful approach, I think that can depend on the day or the hour
Or
or the
what you're working on.
problem. Yeah, whatever you're working on. It can, like if you're doing something where it's easy to literally just do a very quick experiment with stuff that you have on hand, such as, how big does this object look? Like, can I actually cover it with my thumb if I stand 50 feet away and I look at this thing and I hold out? You could just do that, and that can help you gain like a physical intuition for the world. I will say that it is hard to work on dense math for more than about 4 hours straight.
Yeah,
in my
it's something that you gotta, and I have learned take it in stride. I mean, I might watch. I actually just started watching a series by Pratik Agrawal. This was when he was at the University of Oxford on the are probably about an hour and a half. I will probably be able to handle 2 a week. Because naturally there's a lot of quantum field theory, a lot of standard model physics in it. And again, I'm not an expert. I don't even understand those things
You
at
know
the
more
level.
about you probably know more about some of those topics than I do because they're not relevant to the actual physics that I do, which is like atomic, quantum mechanics, and then also like optics. Sometimes quantum mechanics, but sometimes just like classical ray optics and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that with some of those more mature topics, my understanding is much more conceptual than it is technical. There are certain aspects of the technical undergirding of those subjects that I do understand, but I'm not a professional, and I don't want to like toot my own horn here, but as a non-professional who has an interest in these things at a relatively technical level, I think I do have a unique perspective on learning physics and what it takes to learn physics in a way that's not, in the standard university setting, But one thing that I will say is do physics. If you want to learn physics, do physics. That's
yes.
I mean that's I would say trivially true for pretty much anything. But
yes,
but yeah, if you want to learn physics, do physics. And just immerse yourself in it. Watch lectures, and they don't all have to be technical. But watch lectures. Watch the stuff on the World Science Festival. Watch some of the popular content that like Sean Carroll, the biggest ideas in the universe lecture series he did during COVID. The theoretical minimum lecture series that Leonard Susskind has out, those are maybe semi-technical, but they're not. I mean, he just is like a basic review of some of the basic mathematical concepts. But I still think that's good because that's just a fundamental part of understanding physics is understanding what the mathematics is that undergirds it.
See, Shlomo's entered the chat. Says Shlomo, sorry. Oh yeah.
you're underwater.
Ooh.
Wow, you were.
It kind of jumps.
That was weird. That was really weird. Normally, it's way more consistent than that.
I know, right?
Sorry, just say it all again.
Saint Shlomo says, "Oh yeah, talk nerdy to me with your postgraduate degrees." Ooh.
Can I say one more thing on the learning physics? Because I honestly I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, because I've read these books, and they're really really good. And as a, I'm trying to figure out how this is pronounced. Darisi Abgal, Darija B Gal, maybe. I know I'm not getting that right, but anyway, they say Leonard Susskind has a whole QM course, and it's part of the theoretical minimum series. He's got like 14 or 15 different courses that cover stuff. He also has books out, and this is the one. This is classical mechanics. And the thing I like about these is they're not just like popular science. Like there's mathematics in it, and let's see if I can find. There are exercises that he gives in the books.
Okay.
So
Over here, exercises in the books. You are blurry.
Yeah, it's a bit blurry, but these books are, in my opinion, and here's one on quantum mechanics. I've read this one twice. They're not going to give you you're not going to become an expert reading these books, but you will understand the physics, and you will understand a good amount of the mathematics behind it if you read these books, and particularly if you supplement them with his lecture series, as I've done for both of these. It's just good. They're very good for somebody who wants above the pop level, but doesn't want to work through a legitimate textbook.
Yeah.
Or you can be like me and just surround yourself with people who understand
special relativity and classical field theory. I have not read this one yet, but that's why I own it. It's just a little bit far down on the reading list at the moment.
I didn't even realize that Lenny had that many books out.
He's got a fourth one too, General Relativity, and I would like to get that one.
That's probably why I never see him around. He's too busy writing his books.
I know, right? Unlike other friends of ours who never write books.
Is he still a full-on professor at Stanford, or is he
He's not.
emeritus?
No, he's not full time. But I do have known graduate students that took classes with him. His office is the floor above my office.
So he's not like emeritus yet, because like you.
I think he is. I think he is
emeritus.
emeritus. I think he is emeritus. Actually, I think so. But I'm not a theorist, so I don't spend as much time on the third floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be okay. That's where all the theorists are, huh?
Yeah, it is. The higher you go, the less suitable it is for
The
laboratory
theorists
space
up
because
there
you're up
with their
high
heads in the
and-
clouds.
Labs need a stable ground, especially in
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Students
Okay,
need love too.
It's on a deeply psychological level. You feel like you want to do something, but you have this irrational fear about the nature of the world or humanity or, the Illuminati taking all the money or something that you can't control, and it stops you from being congruent and aligned. So if you didn't see that first video, you should really check that out.
Okay.
You got to be congruent and aligned.
So those are mathematical terms. Hey, you read math.
Which one of us are you talking to?
Actually, both of you. I read stats. I don't read math. That's as far as I go. I saw a calculus. My eyes glazed over, and I was like, I'm out.
I gotta be honest. And I can get some of the what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of the whatever the word is for like being grumbly about something. There's a word for it, and I can't think of what it is. About integral calculus. Integral calculus kind of sucks. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it kind of sucks. I didn't like doing summation, so naturally I'm not really the biggest fan of integral calculus. Differential calculus, however, is very much overrated. Okay, look, it can get difficult. It can get a little bit.
Utility is not overrated. Utility is fantastic.
Yeah, but like learning just basic single variable differential calculus is not. It's not hard. I think number one, it's a little bit overrated. And number two, I think that a lot of people overthink it. They hear calculus and they think, oh, big, scary, hard. Oh, it's like, no, that's not.
It's just more. It's more. I think it's something that you can reason through visually very well. Mm-hmm. Integral calculus is but there's
some intuition to it.
Yeah, there's intuition to it, and it hangs together, and you never have to just kind of randomly, even like at a high level, you very rarely have to just randomly stumble upon the answer. Whereas at a high level with integrals, that's basically what you always have to do. That's literally true. There is no recipe for solving a general integral. There are kind of recipes for solving, differentiation.
It's strange because there's like things in mathematics where it's like, yeah, you can't get solutions to these. You can't do it. Now here's a method to get solutions. It's like honestly, I think more so than mathematicians, physicists are really good at like taking something and the math goes, you silly physicist, you can't get a solution out of that. And then here comes a physicist, just perturbation theory, normalization, and just start beating the fucking answers out.
Direct delta functions are just like, we can just define this object that has these properties. It's not obviously self-contradictory. To me, it is to you, mathematicians, but
the physicists just don't care. They will beat the fucking solutions out of it. They're rolling up with the baseball bats. Yeah, it's like that part on Family Guy where who is it? Is that Stewie and Brian break the bird is the word disc? That's physicists and getting what the fuck they want out of the equations.
And so, what is quantum physics? How does it work? And how can it benefit you? And what does it show us about the universe? Well, this is the most amazing stuff that we know. It's really the field that shows how
No pun
energy
intended.
becomes matter.
What?
Okay. It's not
Like,
even okay. Of the
It's
two,
so
it's not
simplistic
even.
that it's not even like.
It's also not even the right one to choose. Where did E equals MC squared come from? That's what he's talking about. He's talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, he's talking about a
Well,
process, but he's talking
trying.
trying to talk about E equals MC
Right.
squared. E equals MC squared is not a result originally from quantum mechanics. It is a result from special relativity. It is. Which like. It's like somebody getting. I don't. To me, do you understand my anger?
Yeah, it's just a little. I always love doing it just because you know how I am. That E equals MC squared isn't even actually the full thing. I think
Correct,
it's
yeah.
What is it? E squared equals PC squared minus MC squared squared, or
Plus,
MC to
no,
the fourth. You
it's
often
plus.
see it.
It's plus. It's plus.
Is it plus?
It's
Okay.
E squared equals E squared equals the square. Yeah, E squared equals P squared C squared plus M squared C to the fourth.
Yep. There we go.
I,
Yeah, that's the actual full relativistic mass energy relation.
Yeah.
And he
becomes 4.
doesn't even come up with the basic equation of E equals MC squared. He's like trying to explain it, but like he's not even explaining what he's explaining.
Fair.
And as everybody should know, M equals E over C squared, which is why we represent in standard model physics the masses of elementary particles as a unit of energy over C squared. That unit of energy is the electron volt.
And what is an electron volt, Leo?
What is it? Isn't it the force needed to accelerate an electron through 1 volt of potential or something like that? It's like 10 to the negative
if an electron
joules.
Hold on.
Right. You know,
You
I'm
just
really
made it- hold on, let
jack
me-
off.
it's funny.
My mind is low. I need to get
Okay,
more.
fair.
I'll be back.
Leo, how could you say such a thing? If an electron
Is that not what it
volt-
is? I might be wrong.
You said, hold on. You're gonna get appreciate this call out. If an electron volt were the force needed for blah 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 blah, it would make a terrible definition of energy, wouldn't it? A terrible unit of energy. Electron volt is the energy that an electron acquires if it is accelerated across 1 volt.
There we go. Yep.
I mean, so it is the integral of a force over a distance.
Yeah.
With a dot product and but force and energy are not the same.
What is it?
thing.
It's I want to say like 1.06 times 10 to the negative 16th or 10 to the negative 19th joules or something like that. Right, I'm looking this up.
An electron volt.
1.6 times 10 to the negative
1.6 times 10 to the negative. Yeah, I normally in
it's very
my line of
small.
work, it's very small. But yeah, it is very small.
And even then, particles have billions of electron volts.
Yeah,
over C squared of mass.
If you get a spark, like when you touch a doorknob or something, the energy of those electrons is way more. It's in the kilo electron volts. Because generally, if you have an actual spark, the voltage difference between you and the thing that is sparking is going to be at least in the generally in the kilo electrons. Like if it's I mean, we have to talk about distances. If it's over a micron, then no, it could be like, I mean, you could do that probably by touching a 15-volt battery and stuff. But yeah, it's big voltage is how sparks happen.
Very
I don't know. Did Maya want us to? I'm gonna go.
important to understand how the Western scientific model works. It basically examines things like they're a machine. Just like in neuroscience, it examines the human being like they're a machine. And
does it though? I don't think
think so either. I think that they examine them in terms of explanatory models and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think. Well, so I think that maybe it's true to say that the world is looked at maybe perhaps mechanistically. I wouldn't use that word. I would probably say dynamically. As far as explanations, I think our models in science explain things, obviously. But if I'm being honest, I don't think that explaining is the primary focus of science. I think understanding and describing the dynamics of the world is, and explanation just clearly falls out of that. But that's just my view, and that's getting into philosophy of science. We don't have to go there.
We don't have to. But I actually agree with you. To an extent, I think that framing it as and evaluating it in terms of what it does explanatorily is a great metric.
Yeah.
Even though the sort of like what you're doing at any given point is a little bit more reductionist than that. You're testing a certain thing. You're looking for a correlation. Like sometimes you just notice a weird thing and you take more data and you don't have a
find something out.
You're doing the data taking part. Like the scientific method, there's a reason we teach it to kids. It's because each one of those things is important. The order is less important.
It really is.
It's not unimportant because there are invalid orders or orders that will you have to like go back and you have to double check and things. But what matters is how the whole all of it kind of hangs together. If one part of what you're doing contradicts with a part that you did, but before, in terms of like the actual mechanism that you are using to model it, if those are contradictory, then you've missed something. You could have still done a lot of like cool stuff, and you might even have publishable stuff where you're like, this is the phenomenological explanation. By the way, it's completely self-contradictory here, but it models the idea. So maybe in one part it's right and the other part is wrong. Maybe they're both wrong. Like, there's a lot of ways of productively doing science. This man is doing
none of it.
A fraction of at least he's kind of ish, maybe curious. At least, like he does seem genuinely interested. He does. We haven't really gotten into it yet because I'm so bad at this. But he does try and describe certain aspects of quantum.
Yeah, I listened to like what he said a little bit. I'm like, yeah, the idea that this guy is not like trying to be like somebody out here just peddling bullshit for the sake of peddling bullshit, but like is trying to piece together some coherent worldview that's obviously non-standard. I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
What controls the machine when physicists of the last century started looking into the deeper and deeper subatomic particles, which is really just magnifying matter as much as they can, they started to see that there was no possibility of actually understanding where any particular particle or atom existed in space, would exist in space. It seemed like particles exist kind of everywhere at the same time until we focus our attention on them.
So, how do you feel about how he worded that?
Is he talking about this 3-slit experiment, or
he's probably referring to
he's ramping up to it. He's ramping up to it.
Superposition and wave particle duality, I think.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. That.
Yeah, and he's talking basically also about like the wave particle duality and the fact that things are in a probability distribution. The fundamental ontology of things in quantum mechanics is the wave function. And the wave function is a thing that exists in a Hilbert space and has certain properties with normalization, blah, blah, blah. But it is a thing that describes the probability of where you would find something if you did a measurement on that eigenbasis. And then, but I don't have time to explain eigenbasis. But
like I said, linear algebra.
So he's trying, he like everything he just said there, it's a little sloppy, but it's mostly just very condensed, and he's going to demonstrate that he doesn't really know what it means.
Yeah.
But that's because quantum mechanics is not the most obvious thing. It's unintuitive. So like It's like Green's functions. Green's functions are worse than quantum
God, don't even
mechanics.
start. Why the fuck did you even mention those? Now I'm just angry.
they're com-
It's like
they're completely
it's like when
inscrutable.
somebody and maybe you'll appreciate this, but it's like when somebody mentions Klepsch-Gordon coefficients, and I'm just like, please don't. Let's
I've
not
had
do
to
that. How about
calculate
it?
Um,
I've had
okay, so I should not ask.
I have to show a table of these. These are crazy.
He's gonna pull. Oh God, the table.
I don't even remember how to read these tables off the top of my head. These are literally. Why did it?
Okay.
These are several tables of Klepsch-Gordon coefficients.
So
I don't even remember which part of the table to start at. You go and all like a third of these numbers could switch, maybe 2/3 could switch a sign, and it's all by convention which one you should use.
yeah, pretty much.
It just looks like a Sudoku to me.
I agree with you, Maya. Okay, these are quantum numbers. These are quantum numbers that are describing angular momenta in a particular basis of a collection of atoms when measured along a particular axis, and how the different angular momenta can add together, and then how you get combinatorial combinations of.
They help us understand how the angular momenta of all of the parts of a system add up to the angular momentum of the system simplistically. That's simplistically what Klepsch-Gordon coefficients do.
Yeah, maybe this one is easier. I don't think so. All right, I'll go back.
I don't think so.
I've had to calculate. I've had to know enough of that topic to be able to make one of those tables. I cannot do that now. I cannot. Well, but
I remember I made a post on Twitter a few months ago, and a prominent cosmologist and physicist, Will Kinney, commented, and it was about the amount of people that LARP online about understanding quantum mechanics when it's clear that they don't. And he commented, he's like, yeah, my test is if you don't know what Klepsch-Gordon coefficients are, then you just don't understand quantum mechanics.
Yeah, it's
and then they become something solid. And this doesn't make any sense at all to what we would consider to be reality, because our reality looks solid. It looks like things are at a time and place. What happened is through what's called the double slit experiment, which I'm going to explain in
See?
Oh, we did. Okay. Hey, called it.
Yeah, you did.
a second. They realized that particles are actually more like waves until we focus our attention on them. Then they become an actual thing. So it's our attention itself.
Oh, that's
Okay.
sloppy. That's so sloppy.
The field is always there, and it's always a thing. So
It's
I'll
not
say that.
technically
That
a
was
field.
bad, though.
The wave function is not technically a field.
Well, the
though.
wave function isn't. The particle is just a way of
Okay,
describing what a field
you're
is doing.
exclusively thinking of particle as an excitation in a quantum field, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what
And
particles are.
that is one way of thinking about it. It's not the.
That is
most
the
useful
right
one
way of
operationally.
thinking about it.
It's not
That is the right way.
useful one
Correct.
operationally here. Okay, the useful one operationally here is that particles are things which behave as though they have a definite position, and he's going to get to this point. They behave as though they propagate ballistically, as opposed to according to a wave equation.
Mm-hmm.
And those.
They're not little billiard balls.
Well, particles are kind of ish little billiard balls. It's just that
They look
particles
like
are
that
only-
sometimes, yes.
When we are talking about wave particle duality, we are separating, because later particle is used by physicists for the thing, and we're like, oh yeah, it's the same thing and stuff. But in the conversation about wave particle duality, we're emphasizing the differences between the two. And in one case, it behaves as though it has a deterministic fixed location, possibly a fixed, well-defined size. And in the other one, it's a wave and it behaves according to wave and it like interferes and stuff with itself. Mm-hmm. Particles behave ballistically in that model. Waves behave wavy and bullshit in
wavelistically.
Wavistically. I think we just invented a new word.
Sure,
and so like now the last time I had to worry about how to define a particle, or in that case a quasi-particle, whole nother conversation. It was okay. Is its width of its excitation spectrum narrower than its difference from the adjacent peak? And it's almost like a tomographic, question of like, what is a mountain? All right.
That's not the Compton wavelength, is it?
No. It's these are, yeah.
That actually takes the energetic possibility and makes it a hardcore reality. So before we focus our attention on something, it can be any possibility, and the possibility exists within a predictable range. But
well, then it can't be any, can it?
Fair
Anything
enough.
can happen at any time for no reason whatsoever.
I love that.
No, that
According
yeah.
to Deepak Chopra, quantum mechanics says that anything can happen at any time for absolutely no reason.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's no way to know precisely what.
All right, so here we have the double slit experiment. For the record, this depiction is something that Young, the original person who did the double slit experiment, would have had no problem. He would have been like, oh yeah, that's a good graphic for it. He was in like 1830 at the latest, I think. They did not have quantum mechanics. The double slit experiment was originally the big thing that suddenly made people be like, oh wait, maybe Newton was wrong and light isn't a particle. It's actually a wave, because they thought it was either or.
And then that's where they're like, okay, but if it's a wave, what's it waving through?
Yeah. And I don't understand why that was such a huge hang up, but I guess I have the advantage of modern whatever.
This
you
particular
understand
particle
electromagnetic fields.
All right, and for $5, Saint Shlomo says, I don't know why I can't say her name. Physics is important to me in that it's what makes everything that can do. I mean,
a lot of people don't think it can be like it is, but it do.
Exactly.
Physics doesn't make anything do anything.
Oh, for fuck's
The
sake.
world.
Don't.
This is the metaphysician coming out.
We totally understand. We totally understand.
The world
I know
is what
you
it
can't
is.
help
You
yourself.
can kick me
And
off.
it does what it
Kick me
does.
off instead of kicking Leo off. It's okay. It's probably a bingo square, Maya.
Is
You
it
can
kicking Leo off a bingo square? And if not, why not?
Probably because Al doesn't think that you would be so callous with one of our guests.
But I do think it is important to clarify that the world is what it is and it does what it does, and we can describe that. Nothing makes
Mostly.
it do what it does.
I do make the weasels press the play button, though.
this particular energetic structure will turn into until we focus our
Was that gap too saucy?
attention on it. And they understood this through what was called the double slit experiment. So this answers the question that people ask me all the time about karma, and it's been my
Oh my god, why? Why is that next sentence? Why would the sentence after a introduction of the double slit experiment have anything to do with karma?
Because the double slit, the double slit experiment proves karma. Did I get it right?
Apparently.
No, you didn't get it right. I think you got what he's trying to say, maybe, but you didn't get it right.
Wait, but it's the natural conclusion of the words that just came out of his mouth.
Wanting to drive a fork through my skull is the natural conclusion of the words that are coming out of his mouth.
Both could be true.
This is true. Leo's doing the same thing I do whenever I gotta, fill up.
Answer forever, which is that we have a predetermined way to see something, but it's our attention and intention on it that actually creates it this time. And again, this is not shown by particle physics. This is shown by particle physics and quantum physics in relation to astrology, because only
all of that is wrong, except for the part where he said it's not shown by particle physics. That is right. He's right about that.
Quick question, Vandy. You're a physicist of sorts. What's this Higgs bosom I keep hearing about? Who's Higgs, and why are people interested in his bosom?
So Higgs is or was, I don't know if he's still alive, but he was a dude who worked in one of the upper floors of one of these physics buildings, because that's where we put the theorists, as I previously discussed. And he decided to do something with a bunch of gluey, molassesy space, which I'm describing in that way because I know it'll bother you. And that's how things get mass, is because space is actually full of tree sap.
Yeah.
No,
Space
why would you
sap.
say yeah?
Space sap. There's sap in space. The particles have to move through, but some don't.
Some don't, yeah. And by the way, every particle that does not have mass travels at sea. It travels at the speed of light.
Must necessarily travel at sea.
It must necessarily. If a particle has mass, then it must travel slower than that.
And cannot travel at sea, cannot reach sea.
It cannot, exactly, yeah. But those are, yeah.
And interestingly enough, there's actually...
are you going to mention tachyons?
No. There's actually two different Higgs mechanisms. There's the original one that was proposed by Robert Brau, Francois Englert, and Peter Higgs, the Brau-Englert-Higgs mechanism that explains how specifically the W and Z bosons acquire mass by, I believe it's that they effectively interact with the Higgs condensate. And then there's something called Yukawa coupling that is how fermions gain their mass, and that shows up as an interaction term in the Lagrangian. And that is actually where the W and Z bosons getting mass, I believe, is derivable from the standard model. Fermions getting mass is not. We have no fucking clue why.
Fermions generally? I don't think we have no fucking clue why electrons...
Well, I mean, we can explain how they get mass, but the Yukawa coupling has to be input into the standard model.
Okay. Fair. I am not.
It's so fucking weird, man. Standard model physics just if you want your mind blown, that's the place to fucking be right there. That's the joint you need to roll up to, is the fucking standard model.
And you should roll up to that joint while you're rolling up a joint. But
astrology brings the seer and the focus of...
Hey, Hank Fisher is dropping deuces in the chat. And he says, what about Claude Chambers, hard or easy?
Cloud.
I'm sorry, yeah, that.
Is that how much she said?
That's a good question. What about Cloud Chambers, hard or to do? I personally don't know how to make a cloud chamber. I could figure it out in an afternoon because
that's what you do.
It was done in the 1930s, and I couldn't do it in an afternoon. That would require various equipment and the right gases, and then also a source of charged particles. But a cloud chamber is a detector that shows charged particles, because when charged particles move through certain fluids, they hit a bunch of stuff or interact with a bunch of stuff in the gas, or the later invention, which was even better at this than cloud chambers, were bubble chambers. Same fundamental idea though. And you get these pictures of particles zooming through, and then you literally take a picture using some sort of detector, and you can see the spiral tracks that they make because these are charged particles. And explain what charged particles do in a magnetic field, Leo.
Move.
When they're a charged particle, Lorentz force. Explain.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that just like some sort of like rotation or a torque? I think it is. Is technically what it is.
Yeah.
Torque
So
as a result
when
of. I don't remember the whole, but the electric field, like a good buddy in the magnetic field, is that weird motherfucker that shows up with him that nobody invited. Like that. I don't know how else.
It makes them go in circles. When an electrically charged particle is moving through a magnetic field, it makes it go in little circles, and so you get these tracks of particles that go through, and then they decay. Like right here, a particle that was going real fast in a straight line decayed, and it emitted a particle that went over here, and it also emitted a particle here, and then that particle emitted a particle that went over here, and all of these things are curving, and the how much they curve, and because the experimenter knows how strong the magnetic field is that they applied to this environment, they can tell the ratio between the velocity and the mass. You can only tell that ratio, but you can do other stuff to like figure it out. And so these are little particles, and they zoom through and make little bubbles or droplets in the cloud. So that's what a cloud chamber is, and they are hard. I'm pretty sure these guys won a Nobel Prize for inventing it, I would assume. But like nowadays, they're not hard. Because somebody smart did it before. Yeah.
Of the awareness into the equation. But what it basically says is that every possibility within a certain structure is capable of manifesting at any moment. And it's the act of focusing our attention on it that creates this thing at the exclusion of everything else. And I'm going to show you how they came to this right now. I'm actually going to read the explanation.
Oh, what are we reading here?
We're going to read the explanation, I guess, of the measurement problem, which is what you just
Lord,
badly described.
God. Please, no. Jesus.
Very badly, because your attention has nothing to do with it, for the record.
Of the double slit experiment from Wikipedia, because it's a very concise explanation, and it's a little tricky, and I'll also bring up some illustrations for you.
Wikipedia better.
Frankly,
you hate
the Wikipedia page on the double slit experiment is probably
it's a great start. It's a great start. I've been there.
If you had to choose one source to read,
it's not. Okay. I'm not saying Wikipedia is bad. I've always said it's a great start. I don't think it should be a source. I think you should go to the source, especially if you're trying to explain shit.
I agree.
Yeah, it's an encyclopedia that cites its sources.
Yeah, go to the source.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
To see, but the double slit experiment is a demonstration that light and matter can display characteristics of both classically defined waves and particles. Moreover, it displays the fundamentally probabilistic nature of quantum mechanical phenomena. Now that's a pretty tangled sentence, I'll explain to you what that means. There was an experiment where if you have electrons or protons in front of a screen that had a double slit, you would
all right, so he's talking about if you launch electrons or protons or photons at a screen, not just if you have them in front.
Expect that as the electrons and protons pass through them, that they would form a pattern behind the slits that were in alignment. Like if you were to throw a ball through something that had two slits, they would land in a pattern that emulates those two slits, something like that.
That is the particle description, and that's why I described the particles as behaving ballistically. You're launching them, they have a direction, they're able to go through the hole, they're going to make a pattern that looks like the hole.
But instead what happened is when unobserved, when just left alone, when the electrons or protons would pass through, I think it was mainly electrons, they would form a pattern that was like the visible light spectrum. Like
An interference pattern, it's called.
They
Because
would
the wave
form an
function for any one
pattern.
electron evolves through both slits and interacts with itself, producing the interference pattern. Yeah. Everybody knows this. Come on, it's 2026, folks.
Sam
Not
does not
everybody
know
knows
this.
this, Leo.
I know.
And also, he does not know this,
does
but
not know
also, it's you occupy a very unique place in the world, okay? Because you also think everybody understands how tractors work and like why they do certain things the way they do, okay? You're a very weird chimera of aptitudes.
Yeah, it's strange. I could tear apart a diesel engine, and I can tell you at least a few things about quantum field theory. Waka
like a
waka!
solar system, where there was basically 7 bands of light across the spectrum. And this is a predictable pattern. This is what it says, the probabilistic nature. There's a thing called predictable probability that shows that it's impossible to know what any one particle will do, but we can predict within an incredibly accurate range what the aggregate of the particles will do.
The last half of that sentence was pretty good. The first half was a huge mess.
For instance, you may have heard
Would you like
Einstein.
to like further explain for people who may not understand what either of you are saying?
So, predictable probability, blah blah blah. Those are. I mean, just you don't know what when you flip a coin, you don't know if it's going to land up heads or tails. If you flip a million coins and they're fair, and the process is fair, then you can predict not only that it's going to be roughly 50-50, you can, if you do that same experiment where you flip, a million coins, if you do that a million times, you'll be able to predict the distribution of how close you were to exactly 50-50 each time. And it's going to be like, the variance is going to be roughly 1,000 in either direction. Okay. If you flip a million coins, because it happens to scale roughly with the square root of the number of things. This is a thing that you can derive from like first principles mathematically. Probability theory is also, for the record, one of these things. Although he's not really talking about necessarily probability theory, he's talking more about statistics and probability distributions. But whenever probability comes up, you should not assume that you understand everything completely immediately. It is one of the easiest places that to get like confused and sort of trip yourself up in, because it feels so intuitive right up until it's not.
Yeah.
What any one particle will do, but we can predict within an incredibly accurate range what the aggregate of the particles will do. For instance, you may have heard Einstein say,
and that's why if you measure a property and you expect the results when you count them up to form a particular shape on your graph, and you measure a whole bunch and there's a big bump there that you didn't expect, and then you measure 100 times more and that bump doesn't go away, it just gets more well defined, something is happening there that is not covered by your model. There is something new that your model does not cover. And yeah.
God doesn't play dice. You've heard that before? God doesn't play dice. This is something Einstein said. And
oh, did Einstein say that?
Yeah, who the fuck was he?
Bohr. I've never heard that.
Was it Bohr? Yeah.
It was in the context of the Bohr-Einstein debate, but the Bohr-Einstein debate lasted from the 20s until Einstein and Bohr died. Right, so...
Because Bohr was effectively saying that, I believe that reality is indeterministic, and Einstein's like, no, God doesn't play dice. And then Bohr responded, haha, don't tell God what to do.
Yep, that is at least the I don't know if that response is as like clearly support, but this Einstein did say something to the effect of God doesn't play dice. This
Yep.
is not one of the many, many, many times that people attribute a thing to Einstein that he never said. This one he did say.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
He said this in response to the explanation or the example they used to explain this probability phenomena. Basically, when you go to a casino, they know.
You want to know
that-
something
they know-
else that Einstein said? He said that thickness and curvature are related.
I thought he said girth, not curvature, but
All right, so we had a request from the chat. It was about 20 minutes ago. And so, having not looked into Vedic astrology very heavily, but I will, I'm always up for our audience request. Three gunas are sattva, harmony, which sattva, which stands for harmony and purity, rajas, which is passion and activity, and tamas. And I know I'm fucking that up. Very sorry, but TAMAS, which is inertia and darkness, originating for the, oh God, Samkhya philosophy and detailed in the Bhagavad Gita. These fundamental qualities of nature exist in everything, shaping our physical, mental, and emotional states. So it's pretty much harmony, activity, and inertia, which are the three gunas, which we'd have to, I don't know. If anybody's like well versed and like I guess either like I guess Hinduism or Vedic astrology or anything related. Hit me up. I would love to have you onto the show so we could like kind of talk about this in more, I guess, more in depth. Because again, I hate straw manning people. I think that if you're going to talk
yeah.
about something, you should steel man it and then talk about why it's wrong from there. But I don't have a problem. Unlike some streamers, I don't have a problem saying I'm wrong, and I welcome the opportunity to correct myself.
I can't believe you would ever say or impugn something like that about Leo. Leo always says he's wrong.
I am always right. I can't remember a time I was goddamn wrong.
Well, I suppose.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that the Titan says, "I thought I was wrong once. But I was mistaken." Yeah.
Also, I have to offer a slight correction to Daryl to Daryl Frost in the chat.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Reality is fundamentally indeterministic. Not only that, it's fundamentally non-local and contextual. All of these can be derived from Bell's inequality, the Bell-Cushion-Specker theorem, and the Leggett-Garg inequality.
Nydia and I have been batting around the like doing just like maybe an open panel or like an extra stream because he needs his watch hours up so he can make money. I also subbed to Nitty. Nitty was on last week. I would love to have like Daryl Frost back on the channel.
You've had him on before?
Yeah. Vandy did.
We did a Saturday stream where Daryl and I and Maya discussed the cosmic microwave background amongst other topics.
I was a moderator. You two duked it out. I thought it was really interesting. But,
what about the CMB?
Like if there was like nobody else on and I was just like, you know what, let's just I would love to see either you or Vandy just duke it out with Daryl Frost. Is that and not like a debate bro kind of thing, like very much like the last one where we're just talking about like, hey,
I definitely behave.
Daryl is not a bad guy at all. Like me and him have our disagreements. But I don't have like he's never like
it's great.
He's never like been like like an asshole. Like we've had our disagreements, and we've kind of bantered a little bit. But I don't think he's a bad person. I think maybe he's wrong on some things. I also don't think he's stupid. Like I think he's got some understanding of what he's talking about.
Clearly not stupid. No. That's very clear.
Why duke it out?
Because he was just saying that. He's just.
No, well, no,
it's just
Daryl just
language.
said in the chat just now, he's
I
like,
know
"Oh, I
that's,
took it
and
out."
I'm responding to
Oh,
Daryl. Like
okay, gotcha.
that's just I'm
Just the
just being
phrase,
casual.
phraseology.
I
Yeah.
actually love that, and I know. Well, you two have both been on a couple of different debate channels, just talking, hashing it out, and it's especially or like what do you call it? I think Kip had Doctor one of the Joe K or Joel K. He has a lot of friends named Joel. And I can't pronounce Joel, Doctor, but like, and that was I'm really happy to hear that his daughter, who was in the hospital, is getting out very soon. So I would love to see them back on where they're just like kind of going back and forth on the Bible. But like those are the kind of debates that I like, where it's just like there is just a difference of opinion on or like there's no true scholarly
It's
consensus
respectful,
on
you know. It's
on
two
a
people who
topic.
disagree and who respect each other
Yes,
enough to really sit down and have a meaningful, well-intentioned, and substantive discussion about the disagreement.
yes, and yeah, and it's not like something that's like, okay, is the world round or flat? It's just like
Yeah.
you're not even coming to the table with a full box of crayons at this point. Like, like, can we like? But like the
Yeah.
things that like that I think I've seen like scholars, like yeah, when I say duke it out or hash it out, it's like more like that, where it's just like this, what is what are the issues and or the flaws in both of these positions? Because I think that even for like well-intentioned laymen, such as myself, all we get is a scholarly consensus or what the scholars want to give to us. We don't necessarily, you guys get to see the holes, and the laymen don't necessarily. And I think that's really important, especially when for younger people, specifically, who want to know, like, okay, what are the holes and what are my how can I contribute? For instance, I think Flint Dibble was saying that the maybe the one good thing that like Graham Hancock and like other shysters like himself have contributed is that there are a number of archaeologists coming in just saying, oh, I'm going to stick it to the man, and then it's just like, oh no, you guys are right. And so then they find their niche and how they want to help out. But I don't think it should get to that point. Like we can just I think there are a lot of I don't know. I find science fascinating, and I think that if we can
Mm,
have these
yeah.
conversations, we can foster interest, in the science without having to go the Illuminati route.
So there is something that I need to respond to in the chat about the axis of evil in cosmology. This is something that I know well because I've debated Robert Sungenis, who is a geocentrist who cites this as evidence for geocentrism and all of that stuff. So in cosmology, cosmologists can sort of take the CMB, the cosmic microwave background. I'm going to assume that everybody here understands what that is because I'm very, very confident that that is the case, particularly if they follow either me or Vandy. So they can, the temperature and the polarization of the CMB can be sort of broken into different maps based on spherical harmonics. And so there are different multi-pole measurements, they would say, of the CMB, and the axis of evil shows up, I think, in like one or maybe two of them, and there's like 1,400 different multi-pole measurements that you could do on the CMB. So the axis of evil is not an issue for cosmology. So
So what he's describing um, is the fact that the CMB is a map of a ball that has tiny little bumps on it, and you can describe those bumps by summing up these basic shapes. And these end up corresponding to various different phenomena physically. And they also provide a complete and orthonormal basis for decomposing the blah blah blah. And the axis of evil is the fact that you have a particularly strong orientation in the CMB of one of these very low ones. Like I think possibly
I want
like
to say
n
it's
equals
either
1 or
that
n
n
equals
equals 1 or n
2.
equals 2. That first one, it
Yeah.
is in one of those. It's either both or it's. I want to say it might be the n equals 2. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's actually that. I'm really really glad you brought this up. That's a really really good visual for what I probably didn't explain as well as I could have.
So
But it's been a while
is
since I've talked about it though. So
this is the CMB. If you take the lower lumps that we showed before and you sum different versions of them together, eventually you can recreate the CMB.
and that L equals and then the number that is that multipole measurement. So L
Yeah.
equals 1 I think is dipole. L equals 2 I think is quadrupole.
Yeah.
And then it keeps going up and up and up. And it's a
You
way
can
of
you
again
can
the temperature and the polarization in the CMB.
Yeah, and like here they're applying it to Earth. It's weird. But then when you plot this, when you plot like how big the different contributions is on a line,
Power spectrum.
the power spectrum, you get this thing, and you'll notice that for very low numbers, because the axis of evil is the first 2 dots on this plot.
Yeah.
It's 2 dots, maybe 1. It's 1 or 2 dots.
Let's just grant it 2 for the sake of argument.
Yeah, the rest of this are higher order decompositions, and this data in particular is very clean in the shape of this. The fact that you have 1 big hump and then 2 relatively equal humps that are smaller, and then another 2 that are they're decaying, but they're roughly as peaky.
Quick question.
This plot is really good evidence for dark matter.
Oh yeah. There's also some evidence for the cosmic neutrino background in it. Could I get you to scroll down? I want to see the other pictures really really quick of this that are there.
There.
None of them.
I guess we have one here, which is.
Yeah, is there any way to make that bigger? Like, can you click on it and see if it takes you to the page and maybe they have it blown up a little bit? Because there's a couple of things.
It's taking me to research.
There we go. Awesome. So, if the dots are what I believe are actually measured, and then that teal color is what theory predicts.
Yeah.
Anybody that looks at this that thinks the Big Bang didn't happen is really fucking stupid. I'm just going to be straight up. Not only that, but I'm really hoping I don't botch this. All of those dots, what the theory predicts they should be and what they actually are, they're actually just slightly off. Whether high or low, they're just slightly either higher or lower than what theory predicts. And the reason for that is the neutrino interaction from what's called the cosmic neutrino background. There's the cosmic microwave background, which is obviously that relic light, and that was released 380,000 years after the Big Bang. But there's also the cosmic neutrino background from all of the neutrinos that came out of the hot soup that was the Big Bang. And that would have been released about 2 seconds after the Big Bang. And that neutrino background explains the slight anomaly in the position of those dots. And that is one of the indirect ways that cosmologists are quite confident that there is, in fact, a cosmic neutrino background, because we haven't directly observed it the way we have the CMB. That's one of the, I can't remember off the top of my head what the other reason is, but there's 2 or 3 reasons that cosmologists take for thinking that there is a cosmic neutrino background as well.
Interesting. Oh, and where's Waldo? Is dropping deuces in the chat. Well, speaking of dropping deuces in the chat, Meta.
18 Keurigs.
Damn.
The ratio of how many hands of blackjack are going to be winners within every 100. Like, for instance, every 25 out of 100 hands are going to be a winner for the customer in blackjack. as an example. I don't know what the ratio is, but it's impossible to know
Me neither.
what any given hand will do. It's impossible to know which ones are going to be the winners.
He doesn't go this route, but I really wished he would have gone the route of without looking at the deck, because the fact that like looking at the deck is an ontologically loaded statement is the
I
whole
bet you
point
would
of
like to
quantum
look at my
mechanics.
deck, wouldn't you?
Your deck is hard to look at.
So this is a predictable probability.
Really, really quickly. There was
It's about this big.
I just saw a question from Jason Jacoby. I'm not really sure. Jacoby probably.
What if gravity slows down time?
He went back in time and invented the Jacobian.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. He asked, how long did it take the Big Bang to happen?
Okay.
We're still banging.
So inflation was what? 10 to the negative 32 seconds down to 10 to the negative 26 seconds, and then that's when reheating started. So from 10 to the negative 26 seconds to 1 second. That amount of time. I mean, that's fractions of fractions of fractions of fractions of fractions of fractions of a second. What? A trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second? Something like that?
Well, yeah, the bottom range was. The top range was. Didn't you say
Maybe like a billionth of a
second?
trillionth or something? I don't remember.
In my opinion, the Big Bang, the way I would measure it by would be the expansion of space time, and I don't think that is and not just limited to inflation. That's inflation. That's why we have another word for it, and that's still going on.
Oh yeah, the universe
it's still expanding. So it's technically
the scale factor changes with time.
Still banging, right?
We up in here. We still banging, nigga. Goddamn right.
We know that 27 out of 100 blackjack hands are going to be winners for the customer, but we don't know which ones at any given time. So this gives us an enormous range. If you knew that 27 out of 100 of anything is going to be, let's say, profitable. Let's say that you knew that if you spent $27, you would get $100 back. Let's say on advertising. Let's say as a sort of business model.
You're talking about a completely different question now. Okay, now you're talking about return on investment as opposed to like frequentist like statistics.
Frequentism. Boo.
I don't even remember the other one, and I have no commitment to either. Bayesian. Okay, I probably.
There's also I think there's a third one, and I can't remember.
Who cares?
Then you would keep doing that. This is why casinos are profitable, because they know the ratio. But you have no idea which dollar produces which person, which
anyway. We're not here to talk about casinos.
buys which product, for instance. This is something that happens in business. You look at the aggregate. So this predictable probability showed the uncertainty of how those molecules scattered when unobserved. So they scatter when unobserved in a predictable range. And that predictable probability is what makes things like this work. Because what this thing runs on, it's not electronics like you plug a light into the electrical current. That's electricity. These electronics are based on quantum theories, quantum physics, because they shrink things and data and information onto little tiny chips, and they move them in this.
They're not quantum mechanical because the chips are tiny. That is a very reasonable.
The chips are tiny because they're quantum mechanical.
The chips are tiny because there has been billions and billions and billions of dollars in profit waiting for whoever can make them tinier and smaller and fit more of them and make them go faster over decades. That's why they're tiny. The first transistor
they're tiny because of capitalism.
The first transistor was like this big, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a small object, okay?
Predictable way. If that stuff didn't work, none of our electronics would work. So this is fact. We know this is what happens. And we know that once you introduce presence and once you observe the situation, it immediately changes this unpredictable ratio and makes that particle one thing at the exclusion of everything else.
Okay, what?
It's a bastardized description of the measurement problem.
Yeah, I don't like how most people talk about the measurement problem, because I think it can be stated very, very simply. Why don't we observe superpositions?
Because that would be contradictory to all of the possible things that we could observe. And
I would say it's
observable.
because what you measure depends on how you relate to the system that you're measuring, amongst a
Well,
few other
also,
relations. Right?
the other reason is that the outcome of an observable is going to be a real valued eigenvalue of the Hamiltonian, right? So that's not helpful to the rest of you guys listening, but that is not a super, like, it's, I mean, I suppose that any solution, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna.
Einstein hated it.
Whoa. So for $2, my unfinished journey says, Hail Tap, Hail Maya, Hail Leo, and Hail the CMB. Yay!
The CMB is great. The CMB is
CMB
one
is
of the
great.
coolest fucking things ever.
Yeah.
CMB is A.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's the sky daddy of us all.
Einstein spent his whole life really trying to sort of disprove it. He called it spooky science. There's a thing called entangled particles, where one particle, if it's joined another, and you focus on that one, both of them become affected at the same time. This is where you heard Einstein famously say, well, I prefer to think that the moon is there whether I'm looking at it or not. He said that in opposition
Which
to
is a
these theories.
strange thing to say, because what the fuck does that have to do with entanglement?
Yeah, you're right. Those are two different. I haven't actually noticed that before, but you're right. Those are two different things. One of them, entanglement has to do with two different particles. The moon thing can be considered as one particle, and it doesn't have anything to do with entanglement. It's just like, oh, do you think that the moon is in like some amorphous blob of locations until I look at it?
And just because it's always good to remind people what entanglement actually is. Entanglement is a statistical correlation between weighted sets of observables for different parts of a multipartite quantum system.
That was so helpful. That's kind of like how I finally understood what monads were in Haskell, which is that they're just monoids defined on a subset of endofunctors or something like that.
Because they make no sense to our brain.
Wait a minute. For $2, my unfinished sock says, don't be an axis of evil. Axis of evil. God damn it. Like and share instead. And that is sound advice. What is wrong with you lazy ass bastards who haven't hit the like button? Get on it now. We only have 34 likes. There are 42 people-ish in the chat. I don't know. It fluctuates. I can't tell if it's.
Can you make me big, Maya? Can you like make it so it's just my face showing? Just
are you going to be hard? Only if you're hard.
Oh boy. She said it.
It's a fucking button. Like you're here, you're watching, so you obviously like the content. Right. All you have to do is move the mouse and then. What are you doing? Do you think she's asking you for a fucking $1 million? Just click the fucking button, dude. Come on. This isn't rocket appliances. Let's go.
Let's go. No, you know what? That's how you do it. Leo came out the box hard. Yeah. Everybody be like Leo.
Hardly. Why is it not going?
But they do make sense. God does play dice, and apparently the moon isn't there until we look at it. Now, for people like us who study Eastern concepts like meditation and consciousness, it makes sense that focusing on...
Sorry.
You gotta focus, man. If you stare into the fire, you will gain the knowledge of how to eat burritos backwards.
Monads can also be thought of as burritos.
And somehow Bandy loops it back to monads.
I can provide sources for this.
Our awareness on something makes it take form. And also the tangled particle theory, where if you focus your attention on one particle, whatever it's entangled with also gets affected. This is this whole kind of way that our energy spirals. And you can understand that on the quantum level, your energy is affecting...
I don't really like that wording. It affects the other, because it makes it seem like there's some sort of
I agree.
Causal connection. Entanglement is not causal. It's a statistical correlation.
I think that invites a big discussion on what we mean by causal.
Yeah.
Information isn't transferred, However,
Which is what I take cause to mean. That's what causation is. But yeah,
yeah,
you're right. That
okay,
is a whole different.
yeah,
That's a whole other.
but like what one person knows for the person adjacent to particle A's measurement knows what the state of affairs will be if the same measurement is the exact complementary
Correlation.
measurement
Yeah. Yep.
is behaved is performed on the other one. Information hasn't been transmitted, but something about the state of affairs has been resolved non-locally, and that distinguishing that between information transfer and like local physics, but it is like where a lot of physicists I think physicists are still trying to figure out how to exactly articulate what that means and how it yeah.
Well, and I mean, there's disagreement. Like Tim Maudlin, who's probably one of the world's foremost philosophers of physics, would straightforwardly say,
Yeah.
yeah, relativity is probably not entirely correct because he thinks entanglement shows like some form of FTL causality, that there's something.
There's a reason
He,
they
I mean,
finally
he
gave
holds,
the
yeah,
Nobel Prize
he
to
holds
Alan
to a
F.A.
Bohmian view. And the thing is, Bell himself held to a Bohmian mechanics, something, pilot
Yeah.
wave theory you guys may have heard, which is a fully deterministic view of quantum mechanics. Now, I think that it has problems that cause me, and I think the vast majority of philosophers of physics and relevant physicists as well, to detract from it. But I mean, it's a view that people can hold to. I mean, there are very respectable people who do, in fact, hold to a Bohmian theory of quantum mechanics. I do not.
Yeah. I haven't explored it enough. To me, it's like it's possible. It's possible
Yeah, it is.
that it if Bohmian mechanics had come out first, maybe everything would have been developed in that context. And like the idea that you can have these very parallel things, which naturally, when you look at them, lend themselves to
FTL
very
is faster
different
than light, Aja.
physical interpretations. Um, to me, that's just either it's evidence that it's impossible to know, which is not fun. That's not there. Why would I, or that we just need to like find out more. And if people decide that we just can't know, then I will stop being employed, and that's bad.
Everything else. Absolutely. But here's the real thing that's amazing when you bring astrology into the equation. Again, just like with neuroscience generally showed the way the brain works. Astrology shows specifically how the brain is working and specifically how each individual brain is working. The same is true with quantum physics. It shows generally what's happening. Like, this is the way energy is.
I don't.
What the
Me neither.
fuck does astrology have to do with neuroscience?
I can't still man that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't really know. That's just confusing.
Is working. Our attention on something creates that thing at the exclusion of every other thing. But it doesn't account for what is actually being
I
focused.
mean, not if
Okay,
you
I
hold
think
to
he's-
like.
So I think he's doing what I see a lot of people do, and conflating an observer with a person. Do you know what I mean? So like, God, and like, God. So a lot of people think that like, and I always have. Once upon a time ago, I had less. My brain was less foggy, and we were talking about the observer effect. And it's like, well, like how particles react differently depending on whether or not they're observed. And I think that people think that a physical person has to be there, like an observer has to be a person.
Consciousness, yeah.
Yeah, and that is a thing that very, very good physicists got really wrong in the 40s.
Okay.
There are like lectures. We have like the transcripts of these lectures and stuff, where I don't remember who was really bad about it. Was it Wheeler or somebody? I don't
I
want
can't
to
I
remember what we
know
were talking about, but I remember
the
talking
sort
about
of
this. I'm sorry,
the
go ahead.
consciousness causes collapse idea
Yeah,
was
that
pushed
idea.
primarily by von Neumann and Wigner.
Okay, and they were talking about in a lecture at a conference with other physicists about whether or not a spider or a mouse or a dog or a human was necessary to collapse the wave function. And when you're doing that, to a physicist, that should be a red flag because you're suddenly dipping into a whole thing that you have no model for. But you're like, oh yeah, well, brains are complicated.
Well,
Should
and
be
I
the
think part of
conclusion of
the
a physicist. That should be the conclusion of a physicist.
one other issue I have with consciousness causes collapse is that I take consciousness itself to be physical. So like at that point, if you want to start getting into the dynamics of how consciousness causes collapse to begin with, how exactly are we piecing together consciousness? What are the relevant parts? To what is the degree of the relevance? How do we delimit the various parts and their effect on this? But another thing is, on my particular view of quantum mechanics, I don't think collapse is like wave function collapse is not a thing that happens in the world.
I would
Now,
agree.
personally, I take wave functions
agree.
to be. I don't take them to be physically real entities or concrete entities. There are many that do. I'm not like necessarily strictly opposed to them. I just don't think that they are. And thusly, I don't think collapse would be a thing that happens in the world. I think that this is a feature of the mathematical reduction of the state vector in technical terms that occurs specifically with isolated quantum systems as their information decoheres to the environment.
Yes, I would completely agree with that.
But I think for what he's talking about, it's like he's trying to conflate the observer effect with the secret,
I think,
um,
I think so.
and
Look,
that's
look, look at him. Focus. You need to focus your attention. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord.
Focus actually is. So when you bring astrology into the equation, you're seeing, first of all, the container of the situation. That's what our karma is. Because, for instance, you're not going to be able to have attention create like a horse out
I'll
of
be right back. I gotta
out
use
of
the
a
little
piece of plastic
physicist
or
room.
something.
Okay, well, don't accidentally make a horse out of a piece of plastic.
I don't even know. Okay.
You
Um,
should probably mute his tab because he didn't, and
oh,
who knows what's going to happen,
yeah, God knows.
right?
Where's the tab? All right, muted. Haha. All right. Yeah, and I don't think there's any mechanisms in quantum mechanics that says that you can create a horse out of a piece of plastic.
uh, seems unlikely, yeah.
It's like, wow, you're trying way too hard to steel man this. All right, no for the win.
I,
Like,
I mean, I'm saying there's a chance, I suppose.
I
But
mean, maybe if you rearrange the atoms,
quantum fluctuations are like a thing that like technically you can do whatever, I suppose. But that's probably more of a demonstration of other things than it is, magic.
well, I mean,
Every
it's
situation
magic off the table. Goddamn.
I really hate Penn and Teller. They're assholes.
is still going to be contained within what it is. Every molecular interaction
That's not true. I love those guys.
with our attention is going to be structured within certain possibilities. And that's what karma is. What I mean to say is that
Is that what karma is?
No.
Every instinct in my being wants to say that's not what karma is, but I don't know
I'm
what
not
karma
a karma expert, but let's see.
You're-
What is karma? Karma is an ancient Sanskrit word meaning action or deed. In Indian religion like Hinduism or Buddhism, it is a universal law of cause and effect. Your intentions and actions shape your future, your present life, and your
Oh,
future rebirths. Um, it sounds different from what he's saying.
he's talking about the structure. He's talking about the nature of the relationship between molecules and the
Mm-hmm.
structure of our attention,
Mm-hmm. Karma doesn't
which
mention any of
you could manhandle the definition that you gave. You could,
that.
I
Okay.
could,
Okay.
I
Like,
could. I'm
I'm not
very
a
skilled.
I'm not a PhD in anything. So
Quick
you are like
question.
a PhD in steel manning bullshit. Like you
I,
need another degree, honestly.
Quick
thank
question.
you. It's an thank you.
Leo.
So, do you guys think that I just detach my mic and carry it with me when I go to the bathroom?
We were hoping not, but we weren't
I
sure.
don't. I
Because
don't.
as Vandy has so quite aptly pointed out, anything is possible.
No, that's not true. Square
Anything
circles are
can
not
happen at
possible.
any time for no reason
No,
whatsoever. Don't
no, you
you
can't get square
understand the
circles.
words of our
You
Lord and
can
Savior
get
Jesus
you taking
Christ?
your mic to the bathroom though. You don't even need quantum mechanics
Sure.
for that. That's just basic physics.
Mm-hmm. Ow, what are you doing?
Why is
Structured
that
within certain possibilities. And that's what karma is. What I mean to say is that right now you're sitting where you're sitting doing what you're doing. If you focus your attention on something else, it doesn't mean that you're suddenly going to be somewhere else. Karma still frames every situation, which means your past decisions as they arrive in the form of the present moment is the container of everything. And within that range
What?
of the moment and all
I'm not sure
What
that made
the
any sense.
fuck is this? You don't arrive at the present moment. That's not how that works. What? What? How?
Um,
Well, I don't.
I don't know how he's using words.
Here's why.
That's legitimate.
the possibilities that exist, it's your attention in that moment that determines this thing at the exclusion of every other thing. And every other thing is also possible within that range at the moment, which means
Okay,
it's
well,
possible.
okay, if I had to steel man what he's saying, I'd throw out all the words. For one, I and I don't know. I don't like the way what he's saying is being framed. It's like, okay, if you're focused, let's say I'm focused on getting a job, and I put all my attention into that.
Right.
Yeah, there's some other things I would have to do, but like, yeah, I could arrive at securing a job. Um,
I have to do a lot of other things normally besides like the one thing that supposedly I need to be focusing all my time and attention on though, right? Like, life's come. So.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if I focus my attention on this, I guess that means that I'm doing all of the other things that are job getting adjacent, right? Um, I, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I could still man it to where like I don't know. I guess we could use these words to come to this conclusion, but like I don't like the framing of it.
I don't like him.
I'm sure he's a very nice guy. It's just, as with
No,
a lot of people, they just need to still stay in their wheelhouse.
no. This guy, too many red flags. Okay, hold on. Let's look at this. Um,
Oh God.
he's some random white dude, right? He's got long hair, a ponytail. Can't trust that. And facial hair. All of these are red flags.
No,
Collared
yeah,
Okay?
shirt.
White
yeah,
dudes
100,
with
yeah, 100%.
ponytails and facial hair cannot be trusted.
Oh no,
This is
And collared shirts. Don't forget that.
I
no, no. I don't know. I throw out, yeah, I throw out the collared shirt. I think you can be like A very, very suspect Weasley guy
Wait,
without
hold
a
on here
collar.
a quick second. You said white guys with ponytails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and facial hair.
Oh, and facial hair. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Six
I was
one.
gonna say, what are you saying
Black.
that I can't trust Dr. Blitz? But then I remembered he doesn't have facial hair, so he doesn't count.
Yeah, that fair.
For you to, let's just give an example. You're sitting somewhere, and within the range of your experience at that moment, let's say you receive an email, and you don't like it. It makes you
Is this the range of my experience? That's
Yeah.
significantly bigger than what I've experienced. I'm just saying.
angry. Your karmic tendency is to interpret it a certain way, react to it, send that email, and that's like your trigger response. That's how you're patterned, okay? But within that, you have a range of possibilities. You could react so many ways. You could not react at all. You could react in a more loving way. You could wait. You could walk away. You could do all kinds of things. You could
Not
react
reacting as a reaction. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
harsh. You could react more harsh. You could break the computer. There's so many things. This is what we see on the quantum level. And this is
Oh, yeah, this is new. You guys have been talking about a lot of shit on the quantum level. You never mentioned any of that shit.
Yeah, because it's all bullshit, man. It's
Oh.
bullshit. It's some hot nonsense. Okay, this guy, you know what he has between his hands?
An infinite amount.
I don't know.
of
I might need a
energy.
whiteboard to help me out.
It's nothing, Maya. I don't think I might already have it written down. Okay, I do. I have it already written down.
Yay!
I did it in script, and it's still there.
It's
I'm
still
so
there.
proud of that.
I'm proud of you. Him's a big boy.
Apparently, him too. Damn. Are you muted?
Oh, Leo, I think you're muted. Not on
Oh,
my end.
right here.
Oh,
here.
right there.
This
All right.
this is quantum mechanics. This is that's what this is now.
Oh.
Somebody says quantum mechanics. Just so I'm right there, buddy. Huh? Let's go. Let's do it. Make sure you have activated your quantum approximators.
Oh my god.
I love our physics is hard streams.
Oh. Gonna be sore tomorrow.
what we
They're the
see
best.
when we talk about karma. I see the tendencies. When I look at an astrology chart, I see the tendencies. I see basically the habits, the patterns, and the gravity. It's like a habit gravity. When I see the dignity of a planet in a natal chart, I see the tendency. So I know that when you have to deal with
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. I have no idea what he just said. I can talk to you later about this. Something really funny just happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
that energy, if it's a difficult one, your tendency is to, your unconscious kind of reflex mechanism will make it difficult for you. And you have a tendency to make a mistake. If the planet is more...
Okay, so what you're saying is never choose paper and rock, paper, scissors. Is that what you're saying? That's what... Maya didn't think that was a funny joke.
enlightened and more powerful, your tendency is to just understand that thing. This is what the dignity of the planets are and what the karma shows in the natal chart. But within every situation, even the one that has the most difficult planet associated with it, you never know what the ratio is, but there's a probability ratio that says this could be the winner. This could be the winning hand. This could be the time that you don't make the stupid mistake.
The stupid.
This is why every time I go and play 5-card draw, I always fold unless I draw 5 aces. Because
it's wrong.
If I believe, right?
It's always possible because that molecule could go anywhere. And when you introduce consciousness, well, again, which you don't see in quantum mechanics, when I'm looking at astrologically, I'm seeing specific...
Was there a cat at some point, like 10 minutes ago? Did you have a cat?
Why?
I'm just now looking at the chat, and I'm like, there's just a bunch of people like yelling "kitty" and "cat," and
Not. It's
oh,
like certainly not me. Okay,
oh
within a
no,
Leo.
you don't,
Count
you have no
Alice.
pussy laying around. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh
Kitty!
my
Oh, your kitty doesn't even mind being held.
He's not very happy right now, but.
god! Aw,
Oh, Macy. Here's he biting me.
She's licking you.
She's my big girl.
Oh, I love
Big
her
Macy.
so much.
She's
it's
gonna get up on my desk.
adorable. I love that
I
cat.
want to. I'm gonna have to get a cat. I'm gonna have to get a cat. I can't get a dog. Dogs are.
All
too
physicists need
needy.
cat. Unless you're Schrodinger, then you can just kind of fuck off or something.
I want a tiny little annoying dog that yaps all the time.
Huh. Ew.
That's exactly what I am. Okay, what am I? Chopped liver?
Well, look, I only get you for like 2 hours a week. Like the dog would be there, all the time.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to talk to Kip about the whole custody arrangement. And he keeps me in the basement most of the time. So what am I supposed to do?
Fair enough.
This big. Okay? but before it was this big. Right? So
No, go back to where it was just the two fingers. Go back to where it was just the two fingers.
Right?
Right there. I want you to activate your quantum approximators.
Oh, this is great. This is way better than like listening to him talk.
Oh, look at that. That's aggressive.
Hey, Vandy, quick question.
He doesn't even. He seems.
Vandy,
Sorry.
What's up?
Hey.
Child.
when was the last time you flushed your renormalized modulator regulators?
Were those words?
So the question is, has anyone ever been so far as even decided to use even go what to do look more like?
Oh,
That's how I understood the question.
same. Actually, now, yeah. Now
One
that-
time, but then it didn't when it went, and I had, but I didn't, so I wasn't.
That's legitimate. I muted him apparently.
It's the karmic
Didn't know I
situation.
did that.
And what's focusing the attention? Because planets are just the different qualities of our attention.
That's not what planets are. Planets are not. Planets are not just the different quality of attention.
They're just the different focal points
They're not that either.
internally first that we focus externally on. When you're in a Venus dasha, that inner planet, that inner desire of Venus is
Venus
focused
is what?
outward.
When you're in Venus is what?
Dasha.
What? Whoa. Hey, look, I'm an open-minded feller, but I don't roll that way, okay? All right? What? No, that's okay. No, you got to go watch that right now. That's disgusting.
In Vedic astrology, a dasha is a planetary time period that dictates how karma unfolds across a person's life. The most widely used system is, oh, god damn it, Vimshatari dasha, a 120-year cycle mapped from the natal moon's position in a specific lunar mansion at birth.
Hold on. Did Elon Musk go back in time after he moves to his lunar mansion?
Probably.
What?
That's how I'm hoping to get rid of him. I guess I'm mansion.
You know what I want? I want a solar mansion.
I want to spare no expense in building a spaceship, throwing all the billionaires in it, and just shooting it off into the sun.
I want a house
of expense, and
I want a house that floats 7 miles from the sun.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It
I
really
think it'd be
does.
great. I should probably pack some good sunscreen now, you know.
I was gonna say, like,
hope.
melanin will only get you so far, buddy.
Yeah, it will.
So I know that if you're mainly focusing Venus energy now, and Venus has this kind of quality, it's going to be focused this certain way. That's the tendency. So within a probability ratio, this is the probability ratio.
So within a probability ratio, this is the probability ratio. You know, I saw somebody try and get away with that in a paper. and they were dragged out
Really?
back and shot. Yeah, no, I didn't, because nobody would do that.
Right. I'm like, I didn't even know what to do with that. I'm like,
What I did with that fictional person was drag them out back and shoot them. So I can't blame you, Maya.
yeah, seriously. It just
Well,
that those were all words. I
yeah, probably.
You could take the astrological factors and perhaps erect a ratio that says the probability ratio that the person's going to react
Why are you erecting the ratio? That's a weird word.
with love and beauty is pretty high. But they might not. They might be tired and lazy and just kind of get grouchy or kind of get selfish. That's also possible. And all
Hold on.
ranges of possibility exist with every planetary
what's being held?
Is he talking about somebody that doesn't want to have sex with them because they have a headache? That's what it sounded like that to me, you know? I'm just...
He seems like the
So
kind
I'm
of guy
saying-
that would complain about that, doesn't he?
I don't
He's
know.
just out in the garage, like, I don't know, sharpening the lawnmower blades. I don't want to tonight. I got a headache. Oh, fuck, bitch, I always got a headache. Just that guy that's all grumbly in the garage at 10:30 because his wife won't fuck him.
oh god.
Well, okay, given my previous statements about people that are white and have ponytails and facial hair, I feel like I've painted myself into a corner and I'm unable to establish a clear defense.
here is that this interface between quantum mechanics, quantum physics, astrology, karma,
What interface?
and what we call the law of attraction and all of these things.
Oh, God.
It was the law of attraction!
Oh, fuck.
I didn't remember that bit. It literally is the secret. This whole...
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, looks like we got a couple
How
bingos.
is this news to you? Like, it is clearly all he's been talking about the entire.
I agree. I just didn't think that he said that quiet part out loud.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I wasn't familiar with that, right? You know, because
yeah.
It's very easy to dumb this down into something.
Kitty.
Hey, kitty.
What do you do, Mace? She's just sitting here, almost falling asleep. What do you do?
No.
She's just.
What's her
good
name
girl.
Macy.
Macy.
Aw. One of my favorite stories. Yay.
Oh, yeah. She's. I love it.
She big girl. You big girl.
That's quite ridiculous. But when you bring this and you dignify it,
Quite ridiculous. That's a good way to put everything you've said tonight.
Is this ridiculous or is this ridiculous? Like, which part? Which is ridiculous? That's what I'm.
it's enormous power to
You know,
Empower.
the more I do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, I don't know. What are you doing? You just coming at me like that now? Okay, I see how. Anyway, stop! Yeah, you just about fell off the desk. You fucking dumbass.
Yeah, she wants to be on camera. You should have her hop on here. You know, be like, come on.
She wants to be naughty. That's what it is. But I feel like this. I feel like there is that Herman Violet have some things to say about this. That's a pretty
assumed you were
obscure
talking
physics
about a
joke.
fishing contest at this point, right?
No, that was a pretty obscure physics joke. This, and then I mentioned Herman Vile.
Oh yeah, no. Even I'm not quite.
Gauge theory.
Yeah, even so, the hand thing doesn't quite do it for
So,
me.
imagine railroad tracks, and then you just make them bigger. You're changing the gauge of the railroad. That's where gauge comes from in physics. Herman Vile's the one that called. It a gauge.
I did not know about that detail of the etymology of the word gauge. I did not know that. So
I started doing this. I'm like, yeah, Herman Vile would have some things to say about that.
see, only Leo is able to come on here and give a precise like well-founded historical physics pun that I'm just like completely not even picking up on.
Only Leo is able to come. Tapioca Weasel 2026.
You as an astrologer, you as an astrology student, you as a human being. This is why I implore people to learn astrology. This is why I have my certification course to teach people what these divine forces are within you, because this is what's focusing your attention. In the moment, the highest good is always possible because it's a divine force. Your karma with it darkens it at times.
God, like if I just go full on grifter, but the courses that I have people actually learn, I just straight up teach them like actual math and physics, right? I'm just like, this is the secret they're not telling you. And that's like the lie, and then I just teach them how to like multiply matrices and solve differential equations, right?
Yeah.
and do word problems, like. But then I also release lectures where I just bloviate with venomous nonsense.
I
Am
mean,
I in
imagine,
the clear? Or
imagine doing a lecture series and be like, all right, guys, so today I'm going to teach you about something that you would never learn in a physics course. I'm going to teach you real quantum mechanics, the stuff they won't teach you at fucking Harvard or whatever. So today we're going to learn about WKB approximation, and then just start going off on a thing that everybody fucking learns in an actual physics course.
yes, it's in quantum
Just
one. It's at the end
bring
of quantum one. But it's in
conspiracists and
quantum
then
one.
actually educate them.
I like it.
I haven't
I
used
like
the
it.
WKB approximation, but and you know what's wild? I have actually gone to class, sat down, quantum field theory. I sat down in class, and Professor Ethan Neal gets up and writes the title of the lecture on the board. And the title of the lecture, the previous lecture had been about renormalization. The title of this, or non-renormalizable theories. The title of this lecture was Non-Renormalizable Field Theories Are Renormalizable. And he finished doing that and like drew a line under it and turned around and looked at us, and we all started laughing. And he was like, why? And I'm like, dude, that's the I've never
That's a good
remembered
one right there.
the title of a lecture in a classroom ever. It's the only one I've ever remembered. And I'm like, you're about to show us some wild math voodoo.
Yeah,
But we weren't laughing at the end of it. Like we understood it. It was just like, wow, that's really clever, and
Yeah.
it makes sense. Just like, yeah, it was wild.
And if your karma is difficult with it, it shows that your tendency is to do something difficult and then only learn through painful mistakes. But every moment is within that probability ratio. That could be the winning hand at any moment. And so this is powerful stuff. I'm going to give you an exercise now, like I told you, that's going to help you untangle some of the things that...
Maya, don't make us do the exercise.
I want to do the exercise
Oh
though.
my god, okay.
Wait, I want to know.
sort of occlude your attention. In the first video on neuroscience, we try to get rid of some of the irrational fears because that's a very deep level kind of place where your energy's hung up. Now we're going to try to maybe purify the energy a little bit more so that...
All right, so get rid of all your irrational fears.
Done.
Now we're going to purify. Oh, wait,
right.
where's your girlfriend? She should be here for that.
She's gone. She's one of my irrational fears. Like, I really...
I forgot where I hung up my energy at.
Maya, you set me up so perfectly for that. Like, thank you, okay? I've been living with BBH for months. Help me, please. She's gone. Got rid of her. Rational fear.
Irrational fears. Fuck
Wait,
outta here.
actually, it is pretty rational given that she lives with... Oh, God, she's back.
Look, Vanny, you're not ready to do the exercise. No fear. We got it. So, listen to me.
Clear my mind.
Like, yeah. Like,
Oh.
we're doing the Hindu shit. Yeah. clear your mind, no irrational fears. Fuck that bitch. Hey, that's got to be your daily mantra. I'm gonna make that one. I used to be fuck eyes, but you know what? I'm just gonna be like, fuck that bitch. That's gonna be my daily mantra. I'm telling you. Yeah. All right. We good? Are we all there? We all ourselves into abundance. All right. He's gonna give us a exercise. Wake up!
Huh?
Your attention is pure when you're focusing it. So today we're going to do an exercise that allows you to free up your attention, because as we just discovered, and as quantum physics has known now for about 100 years, it's our attention that creates something out of all of the possibilities that exist.
But no, those are not usefully related concepts in any way, shape, or
Each
form.
moment. And again, it creates that something at the exclusion of everything else. And then this something we keep creating loops back into our mind, and we keep creating it over and over again. This is karma. So we need to free up our attention so that our attention is not scattered. We live in an age where there's a lot of distraction and a lot of interaction, much more interaction than we had back like in the Indian.
This guy does not have ADHD.
I feel like he might. There's been a lot of cuts, right?
Right.
And some of the cuts haven't been like there have been times where I'm like, dude, you cut every 7 seconds. Why haven't you cut here? You clearly lost the plot in this sentence.
In Vedic times, when people kind of lived in villages and it was very simple what they had to do.
Is Vedic times a well-described period of time? I genuinely don't know.
Don't have a clue.
Let's see.
Because it's like the monolithic era, which is not.
All right. So the Vedic period. So the Vedas are just four ancient books of knowledge. So the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and the Atharva Veda, filled with hymns, prayers, and ritual instructions. And again, so sorry, I know I'm butchering that. I'm just an American. Like, please forgive me. The Vedic period is a historic era in ancient India, roughly 1500 to 500 BCE. And it's the period of time when the texts were composed and passed down through oral tradition.
All right.
Like in the Indian Vedic times, when people kind of lived in villages and it was very simple what they had to do. Now we live a very complex life with a lot of different things.
Bro, life was complex back then too, for all the same reasons. I mean, I guess worrying why your phone in particular is breaking.
Well, no, your phone broke because you weren't paying attention to it. If you'd been focused on it, it would still work.
It's also the same general category of, oh, this thing I need in my day-to-day life broke, right? Like, it doesn't matter that it's a phone versus another thing necessarily. Although, yeah.
Thanks. One of the main reasons we have a hard time manifesting something,
I hate you,
and manifesting big change in our life is because we don't focus on anything long enough to actually have it happen. Look at
bro.
You just don't focus on it long enough for it to manifest.
How long do I have to focus on like $1 million for it to just fall in my lap?
That's what I want to know.
Like, seriously though.
Yeah.
the great things in your life that you've created. Every single one of them was because you kept your attention on it.
No, that's categorically not true.
Really on a big bag of cash falling in my lap right now.
I
Should we consult the magic conch?
I'm currently very recent events in my life have demonstrated that what he's describing is not true, because I've been very lucky in a couple of things recently that had nothing to do with the fact that I was paying attention, other than like at a basic level.
Well, if you weren't paying attention, you would not have gotten them. Checkmate, atheist.
Yeah, I don't.
Check.
Our attention is getting robbed by a lot of different things, and one of the main psychological factors
That's true.
has to do with what's called open loops. We have a lot of open loops with other people especially, and also within ourselves. We have, again, it's similar to inner conflicts, but this is more actual situations.
All right, so open loops to me are a thing that is in contrast to closed loops, which are in the context of feedback systems. Generally in sort of an electrical engineering context, but control system theory and control theory is its whole own field of study.
Yeah.
That
Wild.
is, yeah, I mean, like ecology, all sorts of things, but man, PID loops, it's wild. It's a whole thing. What was he talking about?
Loops.
Open loops. He was talking about open loops. Open loops are when you don't feed it back. So you measure a thing and then you check and then it.
So there's open loops, there's closed loops. What I want to know is, are there? I just left it cracked a little bit so that I can get a bit of airflow loops.
Well, those normally lead to lawsuits. The question really is, are there clopen loops? Because can we define open and closed in a topological context where they're not mutually exclusive and you can be both open and closed? This is a real thing that mathematicians genuinely fucked up that much.
Why do we say clopen and not osed? Yeah, clopen sounds better, doesn't it?
There you go.
Oh, fuck.
You hosed yourself.
Particular, we have open loops around things that have to do with other people, or let's say situations that aren't resolved. I'll give you an example of one that's kind of mundane in my life. A little piece of software a while ago that helped me do something with my business, and I've been meaning to.
Was it honey? Because that's a scam.
Cancel it, because it's actually like a monthly subscription too. It's not that much, but I just don't want to keep doing it. But going back and resolving these things, like for instance, there's a few things like that have to do with business that I want to resolve, that are open loops. And what happens is these things interfere with your present moment. They even interfere with like our sleep, all of these unresolved moments where we're not complete and total and focused on.
Yeah, stress is a bitch.
A big bitch.
Things because of all of these open loops. Some of them will be with people. And these are the ones that are going to take a little more effort in your life. But we're going to talk about how to handle that also. But open loops with people are like, let's say people that you're unhappy with, you're angry at, you got in an argument with your sister and you haven't spoken, or it's kind of in a place that's not resolved.
I don't have a sister.
Is this still the exercise?
That's a good idea. I forgot we were.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, he definitely started talking about the exercise before I stopped listening, and I stopped listening about here, so it's got to be coming up. So
Maybe a boss or an employee or a friend, you have some tension that's not resolved. Just list all of those things, personal or
we got to list all the things. Okay.
situational.
We have to list all our open loops.
You'll find ones that have to do with situations, ones that have to do with feelings.
But okay, so open loops to him are stuff that we've thought about that we haven't resolved. All right, this is going to take 8 years to list all of these things. That's an unhelpfully broad definition.
Yeah.
Go play in traffic, sir.
Stop this and really list all of those things that feel they're open loops, where they're not resolved, and just write them on a sheet of paper like we did with the previous exercise.
Oh, this is the exercise. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? You're right. Maybe he does have ADHD. It's like, holy shit. It's so like me trying to explain something. Wow.
This is a deeply uncomfortable, unsettling face. I'm not even going to make the joke that I was going to make. I'm not. No.
He looks like a little bit of a
kitty.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's at. She's
Oh, god damn it, cat.
You can't just kitty summon.
It's a cat. That's not how cats work. Sorry.
Cats are,
All right, so we're not gonna continue with the rest of the exercise.
Do you think it will be helpful?
Maya, None of this has been helpful.
Except stuff we've been saying.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah, because,
I'm
look, you guys are supposed to help Steelman his position
I
that
don't.
physics equals Vedic astrology.
Quantum physics, I don't know, aligns your chakras, and then you can approximate your attention onto the planar field wave
what
of
the fuck
the
does approximate mean?
Schrodinger equation
No, hold on. I need to know what it
and
means.
extract whatever reality you want out of it or something like I don't know.
Yeah, approximate.
Yeah.
Okay, it needs to be something distinct from approximate and extrapolate, but still be a linguistic fusion of the two without just being the obvious thing of being an approximate extrapolation. Because all extrapolations, well, no, that's not true. They're not all. Never mind.
Never mind.
Oh, okay. So I went to the New Age bullshit generator so that I can properly make a proper summation of everything that was said today.
Oh boy.
Um, so healing is a constant. Today, science tells us that the essence of nature is growth. Power is the richness of complexity and of us. The goddess will give us access to spatial sharing. Without transcendence, one cannot live. You must take a stand against dogma. We can no longer afford to live with delusion. In the summoning, I'm sorry, it is in this summoning that we are recreated. We must unify ourselves and fulfill others. We must learn how to lead mythic lives in the face of stagnation. And I think that really says it all.
Go play track.
Yeah, I mean that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Absolutely.
man is still smiling at me. It's scary.
Oh, sorry. He could smile at all of us. There we go.
He's still there. He's still there.
I'm sorry. Right here, this looks like a mugshot.
Right?
Of a guy who did a
there.
very bad thing and is happy that he did it.
He's standing there. Menacingly.
Menacingly.
Menacing. All right. I'll stop
Okay,
sharing.
well, no,
Now I'm big.
oh, you're not big. Leo's big. Leo.
I'm
Huh?
taller than Leo, though. Okay, the thumbnail lied. Just saying.
All right. Put your chatbot lawyer away. Vandy's bigger than Leo.
Taller.
Leo,
Yes.
who are you? Where are you? And are you ever going to make content again?
So I am Leo, and you don't know where I'm at until you observe me, but then you don't know how fast I'm going. And yeah, Friday.
I don't know how fast you're going to within a certain bound, okay? And that bound is Planck's constant, roughly, so I can have a pretty good idea.
You know, I can approximate.
You're approximating on me. Okay, I just got approximated upon.
But yeah, Friday I will be I'm going to be doing another apologetics analyzed stream.
Awesome. Just like, are you doing like a debate review or?
No, it will be a review of a video that a couple of guys did, something called the argument from reason. And I'm going to be going over that and explaining why I think that's not a good argument for the existence of God, because it's not.
Shouldn't all arguments be arguments for reason?
Yeah, that's... Well, it's this idea that, like...
It's what an argument is.
if naturalism and evolution are true, it's sort of something similar, though it's not the same thing as, like... plan against evolutionary argument against naturalism. It's the idea that if naturalism is true, we don't have any reason to suppose. Yeah, we don't have any reason to suppose that like our reasoning faculties would be trustworthy or reliable. because
What do you mean?
God isn't real
I
to
mean,
make them that way. So
what if they weren't trustworthy or reliable? We'd all die. Like literally, this.
yeah, it's just
I,
it's a whole thing.
I know that's the most simplistic like argument against Flanagan, but
It's still true though.
it's true. Like it like fundamentally, it's like yeah, but if they weren't, we'd be dead.
And it's like, okay, so
Lucky in a non-reproducible way. The only way you're gonna reproduce that success is if it's built on something reliable. And the only thing that's available, as far as anybody can tell, is the truth.
the question becomes, okay, let me grant you God exists. Why should I trust his reasoning faculties? Because you fucking said so. Like what? Why?
Wow, oh God, I think that finally broke me. Like trying to get my head wrapped around that argument. Like, God damn, it's just bad. Like it's all
It's
just
gonna
bad.
it's gonna be an interesting
Okay,
stream.
all
You
right.
guys should be there.
I shall be there.
I'll show you how to fill bro the right way.
Vandy, do you have anything coming up that you know of?
I may have to be taking a couple of weeks off. I'm sorry. I don't necessarily mean next week, but I just want to like let our audience know that
You're supposed to hang out with me and Dapper in 2 weeks. So, like,
well, I'm gonna be unless you guys are planning on doing a thing during that weekend when I'm supposed to be there, then
well,
Be
you're
where?
supposed to be there.
Where are you going to be in what weekend? What?
2 weeks. Vandy's coming. Well, I don't know. It's a couple of
we're not gonna.
streamers. We're gonna hang out.
The location is a thing that I'm gonna
Dapper
stop
lives in
talking
Arizona, so we're gonna be down there.
Oh,
yeah,
nice. It'll be
but
it'll be nice and warm. Yeah.
That's for fuck sure. Yeah. God.
already too warm.
Yeah, my mom. The last family reunion I was at was in Phoenix in 2013 during the week of the 4th of July. Um, where like yeah, one day actually reached 118, and
Mhm.
I'm like, fuck, you could cook eggs out here.
Did you?
I did not. I didn't go
Oh.
outside. Like, fuck that shit.
Right?
Dapper
Like
told me
why?
about
Put
meeting
some
in a
pizza
bar.
rolls on a cookie sheet. Come back an hour later.
Exactly.
It's like buy 10 solar panels and just run the AC. Okay. The reason you have the 10 solar panels is because let me tell you, out here, everybody runs the AC, and then the utility has to turn off the power for certain areas.
Oh, it was horrible.
Do you live in Cali?
I do. I currently live in the San Jose area.
Good old San Jose. I live in corn.
You do live in corn
Yeah.
country.
Well, I mean, corn. That's like.
Do you guys want to see my koozie?
Your koozie, your corn koozie. I love it.
Well, that's what it is, literally.
Corn.org. I didn't know that was a thing.
Iowa Corn Growers Association is what it.
Oh, dude, corn's a big thing.
Yeah.
Corn growers. Is that a union or a co-op?
It's neither. It's an association that sort of advocates for corn growers and ethanol and stuff like that.
It's like a nonprofit.
So like you remember like
they might be.
Like the Teamsters and something Whitey Bulger.
Huh?
Never mind.
What about a white bulge? What, dude? What?
I was just talking about the dude who probably nobody knows where he's buried. That's all I'm talking about. But organized crime. Never mind. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
What's going on?
nobody knows Whitey Bulger.
No.
Is it the lobbyist for Big Corn?
Mm-hmm.
That would be horrible. Like you'd have to throw it out promptly.
There really isn't a big corn. I mean, Your average farmer's got like 700 acres,
Oh,
and not all of it's corn.
the chat thinks you're shilling for big corn.
Yeah, well,
I don't think they did a whole lot of corn in his area.
in mine?
No, in Whitey Bulger.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say
I don't
no.
know who
Yeah,
that is or what his area is.
I would not be
Oh,
surprised if Leo's backyard just was a cornfield.
It's this dude.
I mean, not my backyard, but I could go probably 500 feet and there'd be corn.
Where do we? Why are we here?
You asked who he like. I was just saying he was a organized crime boss. Like,
What made you think of this guy? What brought him into?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, was he like a big corn shill?
I feel like on the advice of counsel, I'm gonna decline to answer that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I invoked the fifth.
That's
I, for one, have had
That's
tons
the
of
sixth
fun.
one.
Leo, always a pleasure. You want to say anything before we leave?
Physics and philosophy are hard. I'm here to help.
Yes. All right. And we'll see you guys next week.
That's the sixth.
Bye.